Imagine this. The day before Thanksgiving, 1971, a man boards a plane and in the blink of an eye vanishes into thin air, leaving behind one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in the history of the United States. This is the story of D.B. Cooper. For more than 50 years now, the legend of D.B. Cooper has captured the imagination of America and beyond. A man, a plane, a parachute, and $200,000 in ransom money, all wrapped up in a mystery that still to this day remains unsolved. It's a tale that has inspired books, songs, films, and countless theories, all trying to answer one question: who was D.B. Cooper? This mystery is not just a relic of the past. It's a living, breathing enigma that continues to evolve as new theories, suspects, and pieces of evidence emerge. Its relevance today is a testament to our innate curiosity, our desire to solve the unsolvable, to make sense of the inexplicable. The D.B. Cooper case has left an indelible mark on American culture. It's a story that has become part of our collective consciousness, a myth that has seeped into the fabric of our society. From the depiction of Cooper in popular media to the countless references in music and literature, the impact of this unsolved mystery reaches far beyond the realm of crime and investigation. But why does this case continue to fascinate us? Perhaps it's the audacity of the crime, the boldness of a man who dared to jump out of a plane with a bag full of money. Or maybe it's the allure of the unknown, the tantalizing possibility that somewhere out there, D.B. Cooper is still at large, his identity a secret known only to him. The story of D.B. Cooper is more than just a mystery. It's a piece of American folklore, a legend that continues to captivate us, to draw us in with its many twists and turns. So buckle up as we take a ride into the past, a journey into the unknown, and dive deep into the mystery of D.B. Cooper. On November 24, 1971, a nondescript man named Dan Cooper boarded Northwest Airlines Flight 305 from Portland to Seattle. He was a man of average height and build, dressed in a dark suit and tie and carrying a briefcase. He seemed just like any other passenger, but he was anything but ordinary. As the plane took off, Cooper handed a note to the flight attendant. At first, she thought it was just a lonely businessman's phone number. But when she opened it, she found a chilling message. "I have a bomb in my briefcase." The flight attendant, keeping her composure, alerted the pilot. Cooper then laid out his demands: $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck standing by in Seattle to refuel the aircraft upon arrival. The pilot contacted air traffic control, and the message was relayed to the local and federal authorities. The plane circled around Puget Sound for approximately 2 hours to allow Seattle police and the FBI enough time to gather Cooper's requested items. When the plane finally landed in Seattle, the passengers were released unharmed. In exchange, Cooper received his requested ransom and parachutes. After refueling, the plane took off again, heading towards Mexico City as per Cooper's instructions. But Cooper had no intentions of making it to Mexico. Somewhere between Seattle and Reno, in the pitch-black night, amidst a raging storm, Cooper did the unthinkable. He lowered the aft stairs of the Boeing 727, and with the money strapped to his body and a parachute on his back, he jumped. The pilots, realizing what had happened, immediately notified the authorities, but it was too late. Despite an extensive manhunt, involving local, state, and federal agencies, Cooper was never found. He had vanished into the stormy night, leaving behind only a handful of physical evidence and a mystery that would confound authorities for decades. And just like that, D.B. Cooper disappeared into the night, never to be seen again. In the aftermath of the daring heist, a massive manhunt was launched. The FBI, along with local police, scoured the suspected landing area. Yet, they found no trace of D.B. Cooper. It was as if he had disappeared into the night, leaving behind only the echoes of his audacious act. The investigation was extensive and exhaustive. Law enforcement officers combed through the wilderness, searching for any signs of the elusive hijacker. They interviewed countless individuals, hoping to find someone who might have seen something, anything that could lead them to Cooper. Yet, despite their best efforts, they were met with dead ends and disappointments. The lack of substantial leads was frustrating, adding another layer of intrigue to an already complex case. In the years that followed, the FBI continued their quest to uncover the truth. They analyzed the evidence they had, from the tie left behind on the plane to the handwritten notes from the hijacker. They pored over the testimonies of the passengers and crew, looking for any overlooked detail that could provide a breakthrough. Yet the case seemed to remain as elusive as Cooper himself. Then, nearly a decade after the skyjacking, a surprising discovery was made. A young boy found a small stack of weathered $20 bills near the Columbia River in Washington. The serial numbers on the bills matched those of the ransom money given to Cooper. It was a glimmer of hope in an otherwise cold case. But the discovery raised more questions than it answered. How did the money end up there? And more importantly, where was D.B. Cooper? Despite the best efforts of law enforcement, D.B. Cooper remained a ghost, a phantom that had seemingly vanished into thin air. The mystery of his disappearance continued to baffle investigators, making the D.B. Cooper case one of the most enduring unsolved mysteries in FBI history. Over the years, numerous individuals have been suspected of being D.B. Cooper, some even admitted to the crime. Two suspects in particular have garnered significant attention: Sheridan Peterson and Robert Rackstraw. Let's delve a little deeper into their stories. Sheridan Peterson, a prominent suspect in the D.B. Cooper skyjacking case, passed away at the ripe age of 94 in Northern California. His life was as intriguing as the case itself. Peterson was a seasoned smoke jumper, someone who parachutes into a wildfire to combat it. But his love for skydiving didn't stop there. He was known to experiment with homemade bat wings, adding a peculiar twist to his character. Peterson was a prime suspect due to his experience and affinity for the sky. There were striking similarities between him and the sketches of Cooper. Even more intriguingly, Peterson himself flirted with the idea of being the hijacker. Eric Ullis, a Phoenix entrepreneur, was convinced that Peterson was D.B. Cooper. However, despite the compelling evidence and similarities, Peterson's involvement remains a theory. Then, there's Robert Rackstraw. Rackstraw passed away in 2019, but his name remains entwined with the mystery of D.B. Cooper. The FBI discounted him as a suspect due to his age. However, some researchers believe that Rackstraw's age shouldn't be a disqualifier. They argue that Rackstraw's background, skills, and possible motivations align well with the profile of D.B. Cooper. Yet, like Peterson, solid evidence linking him to the skyjacking remains elusive. These individuals, along with several others, have found themselves under the microscope of investigators and enthusiasts alike. Each suspect brings a unique blend of experiences, skills, and motivations that make them potential candidates for the infamous D.B. Cooper. The mystery continues to deepen as more individuals are considered. Yet, despite these suspects, definitive proof of Cooper's identity remains elusive. More than 50 years have passed since D.B. Cooper's infamous skyjacking, and yet, the mystery remains. The case has outlived many of its prime suspects, and despite thousands of leads, the FBI's extensive manhunt and countless hours of investigative work, we're still no closer to a definitive answer. The D.B. Cooper case has evolved from an audacious criminal investigation into a cultural phenomenon, a captivating blend of folklore and true crime. An enigma wrapped in a riddle, cloaked in the garb of the unknown. From armchair detectives to professional investigators, the allure of this unsolved mystery continues to captivate the imagination. Theories about D.B. Cooper's identity and fate are as numerous as they are varied. Some suggest that he was a disgruntled employee seeking revenge, a war veteran with a score to settle, or perhaps a thrill-seeker with a death wish. Each theory is plausible and yet simultaneously implausible. Every new piece of evidence, every fresh lead, every suspect only adds another layer to this complex puzzle. Then there's the enduring fascination with the character of D.B. Cooper himself. A modern-day Robin Hood, a daredevil, a villain, or a hero, depending on your perspective. His audacious act of defiance against the system, his calm under pressure, and his daring escape have all combined to create an almost mythological figure. A figure that embodies the human fascination with the unknown and the unattainable. As for the ongoing search for answers, it's a testament to our innate curiosity and our relentless pursuit of truth. It's a reminder that even in our modern world, with all our advanced technology and scientific knowledge, there are still mysteries that elude us. Mysteries that challenge our understanding, shake our certainties, and stir our imagination. And so, the legend of D.B. Cooper continues. A man, a myth, a mystery that may never be solved. But isn't that what makes it so fascinating?